Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Last lecture में we were discussing the nervous tissue. और हमने ये देखा था कि a nervous tissue consists of the various types of cells, just like the neurons, are also termed as nerve cells, which is the most and the important type of the cell of nervous tissue as well as the nervous system, and is responsible for the conduction of the nerve impulse as well as the reception of the stimuli. That is why neuron को हम कहते थे structural and functional unit of the nervous tissue as well as the nervous system. In addition, उसमें additional cells थे, which have been termed as the packing cells or the supporting cells, just like the Schwann cells, या ependymal cells, neuroglial cells, etc. Now, जो हमारा आज का टॉपिक है उसी के रिलेटेड है, that is a nerve fiber. क्योंकि हमने देखा था जो एक न्यूरॉन होता है, ये जो एक नर्व सेल होती है, दैट कंसिस्ट ऑफ द थ्री पार्ट्स. एक तो यहाँ पे होते हैं डेंड्रॉन्स, साइटॉन. इन एडिशन टू यहाँ पे लॉन्ग ब्रांच होती है, दैट्स कॉल्ड एज एक्सॉन. नाउ ये जो साइटॉन एज वेल एज डेंड्रॉन्स यहाँ पे होते हैं, यहाँ पे एक ही कवरिंग होती है, दैट इज द प्लाज्मा लेमा और द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. Same is the case with the axon. But in case of the axon, axon में यहाँ पे additional covering होती है, additional covering, in addition to its own plasma membrane. So that additional covering of the axon is termed as neurolemma. For example, if it is the axon or this is the axon, this axon, इस एक्सॉन के साइटोप्लाज्म को हम कहते थे एक्सोप्लाज्म, इसके प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन को हम कहते थे एक्सोलेमा. ये तो ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस किया था. बट इन दिस केस द एक्सॉन इज प्रोवाइडेड विद एडिशनल कवरिंग. दैट एडिशनल कवरिंग इज टर्म्ड एज न्यूरोलेमा. सो दैट मींस एक्सॉन प्लस न्यूरोलेमा इज टर्म्ड एज नर्व फाइबर. That means nerve fiber का मतलब है axon with a discovering, with this additional covering. That covering is termed as neurolemma. So in addition to that, nerve fiber का simple मतलब है when the axon is covered by means of the neurolemma. So axon plus neurolemma, they constitutes the nerve fiber. And this neurolemma, ये neurolemma है क्या? ये covering है. And this neurolemma is made up of elongated and the flat cells. Those cells are called as Schwann cells. क्योंकि हमने last lecture में discuss किया था that the neuron or the nerve cell, these are also provided with the supporting cells, just like the Schwann cells, neuroglial cells, microglial cells, ependymal cells. So one type of the cell, that is a Schwann cell, that forms the neurolemma, and this neurolemma covers the axon of a neuron. So when axon is covered by means of the neurolemma, उसी को हम कहते हैं nerve fiber. और neurolemma क्या है? It is made up of the elongated and the flat cells. Those flat cells are called as Schwann cells. So now this nerve fiber, it has classified in the two categories. Number first one is the myelinated nerve fiber, also termed as medullated nerve fiber, and second one is non-myelinated nerve fiber or the non-medullated nerve fiber. फर्क छी यही होता है. फर्क क्या छी मम्मस? The difference between the two is the presence and the absence of a sheath, that is a myelin sheath. If myelin sheath is present in a nerve fiber, that nerve fiber will be termed as myelinated nerve fiber or the medullary nerve fiber. And if in a nerve fiber myelin sheath is absent, then that is termed as non-myelinated nerve fiber or the non-medullated nerve fiber. As it is evident from the board, यहाँ पे myelin sheath present है, that is why the myelinated nerve fiber. यहाँ पे myelin sheath absent है, that is why the non-myelinated nerve fiber. Now let us discuss them one by one. So first of all, myelinated nerve fiber or the medullated nerve fiber. As it is clear that it is the nerve fiber. where there is additional sheath in between the neurolemma and the exolemma. This is the neurolemma and this is the exolemma. In between the neurolemma and the exolemma, there is a sheath. That sheath is termed as myelin sheath. So that is why इस nerve fiber को हम कह सकते हैं myelinated nerve fiber. अमा ये myelin sheath छु क्या? अमिश काम क्या छु? This myelin sheath is actually made up of lipids as well as the proteins. That means it is a lipoprotein material. So this myelin sheath is actually the lipoprotein material, but is abundantly made up of the lipids. That means it is then lipid-rich substance and is white in color, because generally the lipids are whitish in color. Chunki ये जो lipids ज़्यादा, that is why the myelin sheath appears whitish. And इसे sheath को हम कहते हैं myelin sheath, and it occurs between the neurolemma and the exolemma. And such a nerve fiber, where the myelin sheath is present, is termed as myelinated nerve fiber. तो यहाँ पे शाबाश क्या लिपिड ज्यादा होते हैं, just like the phospholipids, just like the cholesterol, glycolipids होते हैं यहाँ पे ज्यादा. And उस sheath को हम कहते हैं myelin sheath. That is why the nerve fiber को हम कहते हैं myelinated nerve fiber. Now this myelin sheath ये कहां से आता है? Which cells or which structures are responsible for the synthesis or for the release of this myelin sheath? This myelin sheath is secreted by the Schwann cells of the neurolemma, as well as the neuroglial cells, which are the supporting cells of the nervous tissue. That means ये जो myelin sheath है, it is secreted by the Schwann cells, which constitutes generally the neurolemma and is present nearby. In addition to the myelin sheath is also secreted by the microglial cells. Now this myelin sheath, in case of the myelinated nerve fibers, it is absent at some points, and such points have been termed as nodes of Ranvier. And such nodes, they represent the origin of collateral branches. क्योंकि हमने already discuss किया है, the axons they gives lateral branches. उन branches को हम कहते हैं collateral branches. On the origin of the collateral branches, the myelin sheath is absent. So that is why at some times the myelin sheath is absent at some points. उन points को हम कहते हैं nodes of Ranvier, which represent the origin of the collateral branches. And the portion between the two nodes is termed as internode. Now, what is the importance of this myelin sheath? तो हमें पता चला कि myelin sheath white and lipid rich sheath है. तो इसका काम क्या है? It supports the nerve fiber. चूंकि white के means it insulates the nerve fiber and prevents the loss of the energy in the form of the heat. जिस तरह हमारी बॉडी में या in case of शबाश क्या bear during the hibernation या before hibernation वहां पे subcutaneous fat deposit होता है ताकि तमिस की मेन insulation, ताकि तमिस गसने शबाश क्या loss of energy शबाश क्या in the form of the heat. So same is the case with this. ये जो myelin sheath है, it insulates this nerve fiber, it supports it, it prevents the loss of the energy in the form of the heat. So in addition to it also helps in the transport of the impulses at a much faster rate. Means transmits the impulse at rapid rate than the non-myelinated nerve fiber, and it transmits nerve impulse at the rate of 100 to 120 meter per second. 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 120 So this is the rate of transmission of nerve impulse in myelinated nerve fiber. And this myelinated nerve fiber, it occurs in the central nervous system as well as in the peripheral nervous system. Because the nervous system has been classified into three types: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, as well as the autonomic nervous system. But in case of the central nervous system as well as the peripheral nervous system, the myelinated nerve fibers are abundantly found there. So this was all about the first nerve fiber, that is the myelinated nerve fiber. Now moving towards another type of the nerve fiber, that is the non-myelinated nerve fiber or the non-medullary nerve fiber. Simply ये वो nerve fiber है where the myelin sheath is absent. तो यहाँ पे ये fatty शवस्या layer, ये lipid rich layer absent यहाँ पे होती है. So that is why they appears gray in color. Since यहाँ पे lipid rich myelin sheath है, that is why this type of the nerve fiber appears white. चूंकि यहाँ पे myelin sheath absent है, that is why they appears gray in color. So generally these are the nerve fibers why the myelin sheath is absent. जब myelin sheath absent है, that means nodes भी यहाँ पे absent होंगे, nodes of Ranvier भी यहाँ पे absent होंगे, in addition to internodes भी यहाँ पे absent होंगे. In this case, तो this is the nerve fiber why the myelin sheath is absent. In addition to the nodes यहाँ पे भी absent होते हैं, internodes भी absent होते हैं. As well as चूंकि यहाँ पे sheath absent है, myelin sheath absent है, that is why it transmits the nerve impulse at a slow rate, and the rate of the nerve impulse in this case is 0.5 to 4 micrometer per second. Means it transmits the impulse at the rate of 0.5 to 4 meter per second. And this non-myelinated nerve fiber, it occurs in case of the autonomic nervous system. So with this we have completed the nerve fibers and the types of nerve fibers. और यहाँ पे when a bundle of nerve fibers occurs, उन bundle of nerve fibers को हम कहते हैं nerve. So that means ये दिन त्रे चीज थावन याद. नर्व क्या गो, नर्व फाइबर क्या गो, तो नर्व सेल क्या गो. नर्व सेल हम जब ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया है. नर्व सेल इज आल्सो टर्म्ड एज न्यूरॉन एंड दैट इज द बेसिक एंड द फंक्शनल यूनिट ऑफ द नर्वस टिश्यू एज वेल एज द नर्वस सिस्टम. नर्व फाइबर क्या है अब? दैट इज द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एक्सॉन प्लस इट्स कवरिंग, दैट्स कॉल्ड एज न्यूरोलेमा. उसको हम कहते हैं नर्व फाइबर्स. नाउ व्हेन अ बंच of nerve fibers occurs, a bundle of nerve fibers together constitutes the nerve. So with this we have completed the today's topic. Inshallah कल हम supportive cells डिस्कस करेंगे. जो हमारा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर है इन उसमें हम पढ़ेंगे इंशाल्लाह epidermal cells, neurosecretory cells as well as the neuroglial cells. Till then, खुदा हाफिज़.